we're going to ask the icebreaker question at the beginning. So the number one icebreaker question is, let's say it at the same time.
What is your pet peeve? Is that the number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think on the count of three, we should tell the world. 1, 2, 3.
Trash in the sink.
Here we go. We are a husband and wife.
Own a business together.
Own a business together. Not on paper. Do you own any of the business?
Mm-hmm, because I am not a risk taker.
Correct. I am very much the risk taker.
Right.
So yeah, we own a roofing company.
My name's Traci. I run the office side of the jobs.
Yep.
And Martin runs the operations and the sales side.
Yeah. So we kind of like piggyback. I'm very much a dreamer, and she is very much the doer of the dreams.
Yeah. Which is why we're here today.
Yeah, which is why we're here. So I went to Traci and I was like, hey, I have this idea that I want to do this podcast. But here's the kicker. I don't want it to deal anything with roofing. Mm-hmm. I just want it to be about people's hard resets in their life and nothing to do with roofing. And you're like,
yeah, sure.
Because historically I have.
Yeah, he's a dreamer. We have this office that we got a few years ago and have been refinishing it and a fixer-upper, if you will. And one of the rooms, he didn't want me to put anything in for office space because he wanted it to be the podcast room. Mm-hmm. And I just remember rolling my eyes thinking, yeah, right. Okay, sure, a podcast room. But for now, we're just going to put a desk in here. And then that's my way of just saying, yeah, I don't want to crush your dreams, but realistically, that's not going to happen right now.
Yeah.
And we agreed it wasn't going to happen right now. But I don't like to crush your dreams. We've also dreamed of a putt-putt course on the office property.
I think that was more your idea, though. Like I don't want to putt. I have a putt-putt course that I go to.
Okay, that's true. That's true. And then a dog park was an idea. A pickleball court.
I was trying to pay for the taxes. Softball, like, no, that would have been your idea. See, you're a dreamer too sometimes.
These are all the things you said. Oh, the sandwich shop, coffee shop.
Definitely want a coffee or a sandwich shop because I'm hungry right now.
Right. Okay. So he's a dreamer and I love his dreams.
Yeah.
I didn't want to crush them.
Yep.
And this one came to fruition. We have a podcast room that's actually being used for a podcast.
Yeah, this is actually this studio that we have set up is in my office upstairs in the attic. The studio that I initially wanted is where Miss Finney is. Mrs. Finney, sorry.
Why don't we introduce Mrs. Finney?
Yeah, so Mrs. Finney came on board with us probably a little over a year ago, probably a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years.
October 2023.
So she kind of did profit losses of jobs, purchase orders of jobs when you sell the jobs. And then she kind of moonlighted our social media for us. And then we started seeing like, hey, she's super good at editing videos. I just gave her these crazy, and she made me look really good. Or our team looked really good.
Yeah.
And so one day I asked her, I was like, hey, like, what's your dream? Like, what if I gave you this magic wand and you could do this at the company, what would you want to do? And she was like, hey, full-time media. And I was like, okay. So I always had that in the back of my mind. And then I went to you and I was like, hey, listen, I know you kind of laughed at my dreams sometimes, but I really think we should have a podcast. I think I want to call it Hard Reset.
You didn't want it to be anything about roofing. You wanted it to be about life.
Yeah. I wanted it to be about like hard moments in people's lives where they basically had to hit the reset button, start over from scratch, basically pivot from the old way of doing things and kind of what happened, why it happened, and where we go from here.
Yeah. It started when we started sharing some of our hard resets in our life with friends and family. Other people then see you as vulnerable and relatable and start sharing their stories. And we realized that this effect it was having on other people was making them open up about what was real in their life. And it allowed us to build connection and relatability and friendships, and just connect more people. And the benefits of being vulnerable and sharing your hard resets, you realize that everybody has them and that they're a learning opportunity and that it just brings hope and stories and connections for other people. And we agree that Instagram and social media and TikTok are awesome to showcase some amazing things in our life and our families and great memories to keep, it doesn't always show the hard stuff. And an opportunity to share the hard stuff in life and the growth you've made and how you've come out on the other side is something we want to use this platform for.
Yeah, one of the things that I love is like, because I have this story of mental health and being an alcoholic and like all these other things that people have that maybe publicly don't know, but personally, all these people that I know, now I'm the guy that gets the call, right? Hey, I remember vividly, I'm on a houseboat on Lake Lanier and we're driving out to...
Yeah, that's just crazy that we were on a houseboat in Lake Lanier.
No, man, we know.
You say that so nonchalantly.
That's true. And it's my favorite thing. Like, our friends have a houseboat and we drive, like, it takes 40 minutes to get to this water park that
From
we
our-
camp with our kids for
Such
like...
a good life.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But the houseboat only goes as fast as it can.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite part to go on the houseboat, and we drive out.
Back to the call you got.
So I'm on the boat by myself, like just taking it all in. And I get a call from a buddy of mine. He's like, hey, my son is going through a really hard moment with mental health, and I don't know what to do. And anytime I think in life where you can help someone, you just feel so much better.
But you wouldn't have been able to help them if you didn't share your story.
Yeah.
If you weren't open and honest about it.
And vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point of this podcast is not to talk about roofing or step flashing or
Crickets.
Yeah. It's to talk about
Pipe boots.
no pipe boots.
No pipe boots. Okay.
No. What? One last one for the team.
Just chimney caps.
Yeah. It's not to talk about chimney caps. We need you to buy those from us so we can continue to do this podcast. But this podcast is going to be about me having conversations and me and you having conversations with people that have had these hard moments in their life. What happened, why it happened, and where we go from here. And then hopefully someone that's watching it can benefit from it and either have a conversation with that person that's sitting in that chair or maybe take something out of
or
that.
feel brave enough to share their story with someone that might be able to help them. So the podcast is going to consist of a basic framework of 5 questions. Gets us started at least.
Yeah, to kind of set off the conversation. So when we invite people in here, we're going to ask them these 5 questions. So growing up as a kid, what did you imagine your life was going to look like?
Yeah.
I just think like at the infancy of like, hey, I closed my eyes. I thought I was going to have 4 kids and a husband and like all the things.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to, work in a cubicle kind of thing.
Yeah. You think you have an idea when you're young about what, and so naive, but it's a part of being a kid is dreaming about what you think your life will be like. And a lot of it has to do with what you've seen or have experienced. And you have this idea in your head.
And then we get into the nastiness of it, but also the beauty of it is like either personally or professionally, do you recall a moment in your life when you had to make this hard reset?
Yeah.
Like what happened that brought you to this moment that you're in today?
Yeah. And the resets can be multiple hard resets. It might be one big one. It might be multiple small ones, but we all have hard things that we have to pivot or make a choice, or we're forced into a choice to change.
Yeah. And one thing that I am learning is, just like you said, is like it's multiple events. It's not just one hard reset that you had.
They get a little easier every time.
Because you've been in that darkness.
Yeah.
What is the motivation for this life-changing reset? Like some people's motivation is they didn't have another option. They hit rock bottom. Some people is like, hey, I need to just...
They can choose the timing of when that information
Great point. Yep.
gets
So you can
released,
choose the timing or...
when and how that hard thing happens, but not always. Sometimes you have no choice. It's hit you in the face and there's no other option. Sometimes you can try to keep it private. Sometimes it's out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
So there's definitely different motivating factors that get the hard reset started.
Yep. Question 4, since that reset, what has your life been like?
So much good change. Mostly all the stories we've heard are our experiences. You don't feel it in the moment. You are in the darkest, deepest, hardest, humiliating, embarrassing,
Everyone knows,
shameful,
messy,
scared time. But on the other side, once you make it through the other side, you can look back and think, I've grown a lot.
Yeah. my life is so much better.
Yeah.
Or my life is worse. I mean, that might be the answer. And then,
Rarely is that the case, I would say.
yeah, very rarely.
It's not, you learned something from it.
And then the final question is, looking back, is there anything you wish you would have known beforehand to prepare you for this change? Like, okay, right before this moment you had, do you wish somebody would have come in and said, Traci, like,
It's going to be okay.
yeah. And I think through doing these conversations, that's going to be the ringing endorsement.
Right. That they're going to hear and find some hope in. I personally don't like suspense or the unknowns because I like to be in control at all times. I think most people want to be in control of their life.
Yeah. I mean, surrender is like something that I work on every day.
Yeah. So like if I watch a movie, I'll just Google how it ends so that I don't have to feel any suspense, which is not, well, like in life, you can't do that. But why would I put myself through the torture of suspense? I don't get joy.
Because it's about the journey, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But I didn't know if like Free Willy was going to get freed.
Unless you Googled it.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
I know.
what happened?
He got freed. I know.
And how did he free himself?
Jumping over the barrier, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Movie from the 90s.
Now you know the ending, right? So what can people expect? Married people, single people,
Yes.
newlywed, divorced.
Right. And just how we all have a story. They can expect honest, true, deep conversations that are impactful and I think even bring hope.
Yeah, we're not going to be bringing like famous people in.
No.
We're going to be bringing, but we're going to be bringing people in that have like real life stories that you and I both know that have these incredible hard reset moments that hopefully we can relate to these people, right? That went through that moment. And then if you're battling this or you're scared to do it, hey, here's someone you can reach out to that went through this, is on the other side of it. Let me provide you some help or some feedback to get to it.
Yeah. Or maybe just listen and enjoy learning about different walks of life and what that looks like. You forgot the most important question at the beginning is going to be an icebreaker.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you kind of took over the what to expect, which is fine. I asked you the question, but we're going to ask the icebreaker question at the beginning. Might be the same. It might be different.
Okay. Do you want to practice any of those?
Yeah, I would love to practice.
Okay,
What I do know is like sitting in this chair, like it's very nerve wracking, right?
Yeah.
Probably your armpits are sweating.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's like so inappropriate. You should say no. But anyways.
No.
Yeah, but like, so we're going to ask an icebreaker question and then we're going to see where these 5 questions lead us during it. So the number one icebreaker question is, let's say it at the same time.
What is your pet peeve? Is that the number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of them.
Okay.
I think it's good to know like, hey, pet peeves of people.
Yeah.
And I think on the count of 3, we should tell the world
What your pet peeve is.
what my pet peeve is.
Okay.
Because we haven't practiced this, but I'm pretty sure you know. And how would you say that you are at not doing this pet peeve of mine?
Well, let's first say the pet peeve. Let's make sure we agree on the same pet peeve.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Trash in the sink. Martin's biggest pet peeve is when I put trash in the
It's just
sink.
so gross. Like put paper towel, like, and then you have to like reach down.
I've gotten better.
It's like, okay, for
We
example,
don't need to hash it out.
paper straw, like paper straws are awful, right?
Yeah.
They're
It's
just
like
awful.
soggy. Yeah.
It's soggy.
I've gotten way better.
I went to Steak and Shake with one of your daughters, and they gave us a paper straw to drink through a milkshake,
It was
and
hard.
it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
I haven't been back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your pet peeve because
Okay.
you don't want to be around our house when it happens.
Okay. Let's see if we have the same one.
Okay.
I have more than one, but we'll go with the most common one.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Not being able to find something.
when it's lost.
Yeah, you are not fun to be around when you know you put something.
But I will say that we've done a really good job lately of supporting each other.
Yeah.
Like if I put trash in the sink and I see you getting fired up, I know to quickly rectify the situation, clean it up myself.
When do you think the last time you did that?
I haven't done it in so long that you wouldn't even know.
You haven't done trash in the sink, or
That's
you
right.
haven't picked
trash in the sink. Thank you.
I can't remember the last time you pulled trash out of the sink.
I'm getting better. Because some things, here's the truth. Some things need to be rinsed out before you can put them in the recycling.
Yeah.
So it looks like trash, but really I'm just rinsing it and letting it dry out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you think it's trash. It's actually helping the environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna ask pet peeve questions. We're gonna ask other questions, icebreaker questions, so that we can get, because it's nerve-wracking sitting here like being interviewed and having a question. But the ultimately is like we just want to have a conversation with that person. We want to hear their hard reset in their life, and then hopefully someone will be able to take something from it, or be able to contact that person, say, "Hey, I'm going through this moment," and I think just human nature, if we help other people, it's going to be beautiful.
Because we've seen the benefit of being able to open up to other people allows you to relate.
Yeah. And
any other pet peeves? I mean, any other icebreaker stories?
No icebreaker stories, but as far as questions go, my favorite question is, okay, you have 4 things to choose from.
Okay.
Right? And it's, you can be the best in the world at one of the 4, but the other 3, you're the worst in the world at. So the question is, of these 4 things you can be the best in the world at, but the other 3, you're going to be the worst in the world at. Of the 4 things, what would you choose? And the 4 things to choose from are talent, brain smarts.
Okay. The best at talent, the best at brains.
Beauty.
Okay.
Finally, charisma.
Okay. The Riz.
The Riz, as the kids say.
I'm going to say W Riz.
W Riz. I believe I like...
Because you can get really far in life with W Riz.
Oh, yeah. So that's your answer is W Riz?
I'll be bad at talents, looks, and brains.
Initially, though, what did you tell me your response was?
It was 100% charm, charisma. It's always been that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think you have the Riz?
No.
Oh, but
I'm not the...
But also, you're the ugliest person in the world. You're the dumbest person in the world, and you have no talent, but you have...
charisma.
W Riz. Yeah.
What about you?
It's,
No, you first. What did you say? Think at first. Talent?
No, I don't care about talent.
Beauty?
No, absolutely not. I don't care if I'm,
beautiful?
My mom thinks I'm handsome regardless of anyone else does. Shout out to the Beebs. Yeah, no, it's the Riz. It's charisma.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you have charisma, it doesn't really matter.
You can make it so far in life.
Yeah. So yeah, super excited about the podcast. If you would like and subscribe and share this channel with other people, we promise that, hey, we're not going to bore you with a bunch of roofing talk. We're just going to give you good life change conversations that hopefully will help you. Or, hey, watch this podcast. I know you're going through a hard moment. And
might help someone.
Yeah.
And you've got some cool people coming on.
Yeah, let me tell you, we have a divorcee, we have a Scotsman, we have a guy from New Orleans whose face as a young child hit a fire hydrant. We have my
stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, my little sister who's got this incredible story about like what she thought her life was going to be like and what it's like now.
Has some cool influencers.
Yeah, we have a big time social media influencer, like 100,000 followers. Like, she's probably famous. So
good stuff coming.
Yeah, big stuff coming. Big thing is if you could subscribe to our channel, we're going to release these so you can tell people about it. And we're hoping that you'll maybe get a little life change out of this.
Yeah, high five.
High fives.